Hello all viewers. Today as we come into the chapter 3 of our video discussion and sharing session, I would first like to make 2 points clear in my video. First of all, the reason why I do not disclose myself is that who I am is not important. What I'm here to do is to share the gospel and the revelation that God has revealed to me, and sharing in this faith with Christians. So it is about glorifying God. So who I am is not important. Secondly, I would like to say that the video discussions that I have here is solely for the purpose of Christian to further their understanding of the faith. It is not to preach to non-believers. Now let's start the session today with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us each day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Today we shall discuss on the characteristics of God. As we all know, it has been preached so very often that the characteristics of God is that He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Now what these three means is that of course He can do everything that we can imagine or we cannot imagine. He is everywhere at the same time, and He knows all things. So let's bear that in mind as we continue on with this sharing today. What this encompasses is also that He knows all things that has happened, that is happening, and that is to come, which in some respect challenges the faith of some Christians in the aspect of free will and predestination. Now in this topic, I will leave this part to later discussions, but let's focus on what God can do. Well, even in Genesis, we have already read that God created heaven and earth. All things are good in His eyes, and He has created humans, which is Adam, on the 6th day. And He sees the creation of human, as very good. And we are created in the image of Him. So this is truly a gracious gift, that we are chosen apart from all other creation of the animals that flies in the air, that swims in the water, that walks on the ground. So we are His special people. And of course there is the chosen race. More often than not, we have heard, even within Christians, that pose questions like this. Why is God a wrathful and strong God in the Old Testament? Why does He condone some of the acts? Why is He bent on the destruction of the races or tribes that were in the Holy Land before the Jews came in or came back in? I have heard questions like, why was one brother chosen to lead over the other? Is there something wrong that he do? Why did God condone Jacob and his mother in coming together to scheme against his father to get the blessing, as opposed to the original supposed of the blessing to be given to Esau? There are many questions, and this ranges to even daily lives. Why was the parents taken away from the child at a very young age? Why did somebody have to die from cancer, natural disasters, and things like that? This, I agree, is a challenge to the faith. But let's remember this. We are in fact, by posing these questions, judging and challenging God. Now this is a very serious case of the sin of pride. Why do I say that? It is because of pride of man in thinking that we know better that we challenge the question to question God in asking why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I have two examples to bring up. First of all, when in the prehistoric days, or even before man started to sail across the world, when you look across the horizon, what you see is a flat land. And that is what we can see. So we perceive that the land is flat and the earth is flat. But that's not the case. Because of our limited intelligence, we cannot understand the great plan that is, the real truth, the universal truth. And likewise, in my second example, imagine a small little child who doesn't want to go to school. And the parents will say, go to school, you have to study, it is for your own good. And the child will question, why? Mommy, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Well, sometimes it find it difficult to answer them because they do not have the ability to comprehend things as we have, because of the maturity and the level of understanding of the society and of the universe. So they have to just accept it as it is. So it is for man. God is extremely intelligent in the sense that we cannot comprehend. His knowledge of things of earth and things of heaven is so profound that, well, for lack of a better comparison, we are just like cockroach to him, or even worse. So how can we, in that kind of level, try to comprehend things of his level and challenge him to say why he do the things he does? Of course, bearing in mind all things that come into being, be it good or bad, is either in his plan or he allows it to be so, for the plan that he has for all of us. So let's bear this in mind, that whenever we are faced with questions that we read in the scriptures, or questions that was being posed to us in normal day lives, as to question why God do the things he do, ask ourselves this: are you as clever as God? Can you see into the future? Do you know the past? There must be a reason for all this. Question is, can we comprehend the reason? Now with this, I bring it to a closure for today's discussion. But bear in mind this: all things that God do, it springs from goodness. We have to trust in him that he is doing everything for the benefit of man. So let's put our faith in him and pray that he will guide us to holiness in all that we do. Amen.